In today's episode, we bring you a deeply inspiring story about a boy who carried the weight of his family's past, yet rose above hate and hardship to become a symbol of hope for an entire village. If you believe in second chances, inner strength, and the power to change your destiny, make sure to subscribe, like, and share this podcast with someone who needs to hear this powerful message. Elian was born in a village where everyone knew each other's names, stories, and secrets. Unfortunately, his name came with a curse. His parents had once held high positions in the village council, trusted, respected, even admired, but greed poisoned their hearts. They siphoned off the village's savings, betrayed its trust, and fled in the dead of night, leaving devastation behind. The village economy collapsed, crops failed without funding, and people blamed one name more than any other: Elian. He was only 3 when it happened, too young to understand but old enough to feel the sting of isolation as he grew. From his first steps in school, he was treated like an outcast. No one sat beside him in class. On the playground, balls were kicked away from him, and even the teachers, though polite, kept a distance. "He'll turn out just like them," they'd whisper. He was denied access to village events, books were taken away, and one cruel winter his small family shack was ignored during food distribution. Hunger, cold, and loneliness became Elian's companions, but even then he chose not to let anger define him. He would cry in silence, then rise again with resolve. Elian began reading by candlelight, using old torn books he salvaged from trash. He built a garden behind his house, growing food with techniques he learned from observing nature. Slowly, he discovered he had a gift, not just for learning, but for creating. He repaired broken tools for neighbors, even when they never thanked him. He helped fix a bridge after a storm, even when the workers told him he wasn't welcome. Each time he gave, the village took, but never acknowledged. Yet he never stopped. One year, when a plague of insects destroyed the crops, Elian proposed a natural solution, using herbs and plant-based repellents. At first, no one listened, but when every method failed, they turned to the boy they had once called a curse. His plan worked. That year, the village had enough food. And still, he asked for nothing. A few began to wonder, could we have been wrong? Then came the Great Flood. The river rose beyond its limits, and panic filled the village. Elian stayed up for days building barriers, organizing rescue teams, and leading efforts to save animals, children, and homes. He didn't sleep. He didn't rest, and when the waters calmed, the villagers saw what they had refused to see for years: a leader, a light, a heart stronger than any they had known. Bit by bit, the walls between Elian and his people crumbled. People apologized, some in tears. Children came to him for guidance, and adults came with respect. The name that once brought shame now brought pride. Elian had become the very opposite of what his parents were. He was not a thief of wealth, but a giver of hope. In the end, the boy who was once hated by all had not only earned their love, he had transformed an entire generation's way of thinking. His story taught them that a person's worth is not tied to their past, but to their choices, their courage, and their heart. Thank you for listening to this journey of struggle, strength, and transformation. If Elian's story moved you, please subscribe, like, and share this podcast. Your support helps us bring more stories that matter to people who need them.